To our second and final heat for DD2 Masters here this afternoon at Circuito Internacional de Karting Campillos. A big thank you to the 70,000 people that the Facebook stream, I've just been informed, has reached. So a big thank you to everyone that is watching at the moment. Welcome to a new development for us for 2020. Slavomir Moransky and Rudy Champion start on the front row ahead of Kyle Klebort and Bruno Dos Santos. Marco Winkler and Franck Laverne round out the top three rows ahead of Germany's Andreas Schindler and also fellow countryman Ido Adrisani. Christoph Adams and Klaus Panne from Belgium and Germany respectively round out the top 10. Ahead of Jan Karlsson, Tanju Yildiz, also Frederik Beikert, Konrad Bayer. Then we've also got Pinilos in 15th, so Beckett will start 14th behind Bayer, and Maxim Oshnikov rounds out the 16 strong here at Karting Campillos for this race. 10 minutes set on the clock. Yeah, it's Sarah's just motioned to me like the old sleeping. Yeah, I think we're both going to be doing that well tonight. A good meal this evening, and that will set us up right for the finals tomorrow. So we now get to the business end of the start phase, but Moransky is just waiting. Champion now joins him, as does Klebold. Bruno Dos Santos rounds out the top two rows. Red lights on the starting gantry. Ready to go out very shortly once we go racing. Revs rise and we head down into turn one for the first time. As Champion goes ultra defensive up towards the top of the hill. So the red lights did go out and we got a clean start, a clean getaway there. So up to turn 8 for the first time of asking. And it looks like Konrad Bayer, unfortunately, the ribs have proved to be a little bit too much for my good learned friend. So he is not racing. I think it was quite a hefty hit he had. Good driver number 231, Junior Max 231. Please make your way to the stewards immediately. That's junior driver 231 to the stewards. And that is Drek Jansen from the Netherlands. Drek Jansen from SP Motorsport. Please report to the stewards immediately. Thank you. So at the moment, the number 561 from Slavomir Moransky from 46 team running on the Tony Kart chassis is now about 0.6 of a second ahead of Rudy Champion from France running with PKS Competition. Andreas Schindler did a great move on Kyle Klebort last time out on the penultimate lap of the race, if memory serves me correctly, to get past Kyle Klebort for position. And now Kyle Klebort is missing in action. I don't think he's taking any further part. There might have been an issue there. As Christoph Adams, who is now running on, well, he normally runs on a Sodi chassis. I think that still might be the case, but the front Nassau plate on that kart has changed. So whether he is on a different chassis, your guess is as good as mine. 8 minutes to go plus an additional lap here. As the top five now come across the start-finish line. So Christoph Adams started in P11. Now up into 6th place ahead of Jan Karlsson from Sweden. Franck Laverne started in 6th, now down into 9th place. And for those wondering about the restrictions, reference DD2 Masters. If you are 32 years and above, you can enter into the DD2 Masters class. And they all come from all different walks of life, all different types of day jobs. So at the moment, just seeing a few drivers. Looks like Adrisani is having to battle against Levaun for position, and Levaun has sent it up the inside of the German going through turn 16. Adrisani tries to counter straight away, but just slots in behind the 536, who is running on the Sudi kart chassis. And I think, yes, that is Carl Klebold who is running. And he just did a 3:11, so I think there might be an issue for him. But let's just see. I mean, he did a 3:11 on his a 3:11 on his last lap. So whether he's had to pull it into the pits, he could use this as an extended test session this very afternoon for it. So, yeah, it looks to be at full racing speed now as Christophe Adams from Belgium. He's running on the 1 minute 4.8. Fastest driver of all, the one out front, as Carl Klebold unfortunately pulls it into the pit lane. That means that the 510 will now retire. I think the problems for Carl Klebold in that rate for this particular race, whether there was a technical problem that started the minute we went lights out, because he actually started on the inside of row number 2 on 3rd position. So I think that is, yep, Ido Adrisani now ahead of the 536 of Frank Levaun. Adrisani with the Italian tricolore on the top of his race helmet. So good to see keeping the Italian heritage alive, not just in name but also front and centre on a race helmet. So that's really good when people do that kind of thing. I mean, if anyone remembers when Jenson Button used to race in Formula 1, he had the initials JB on the side of his race helmet, and it used to have the Union Jack front and centre. So around the final corner comes Slavomir Moransky. We're past the half-time distance here in what is effectively race 16 here for the qualifying heats action, being broadcasted live on Facebook, YouTube, and also on Downforce Radio's Rotax radio channel, all the way through not just the weekend, but also the fact that we have all the way through the season for this year and also for the rest of the season. So a big thank you for everyone for tuning in wherever you are in the world. Really do appreciate it. 4 minutes to go plus an additional lap. The gaps have started spreading out a little bit. Gap between Moransky and Rudy Champion now 1.4 seconds. But there is a little bit of a skirmish appearing. And in the middle of that looks to be, I think, maybe Adrisani, because, well, there's also one particular driver who I've mentioned earlier on today, Tanju Yildiz from Germany, running in 11th position. Now, and he's trying to close up to Baker in the 553, who is now actually ahead of Adrisani. So Adrisani might have had a bit of a drama there. He actually did a 105.4 on that particular lap, and Baker actually got past him doing a 1 minute 4.881 on that particular tour. So we are now heading up the hill towards turn 7, 8, down the hill for the first part of the descent towards the bottom part of the circuit, through turns 8, 9, into 10, into the right, left at 11, across the short blast, down to turn 12, as Adrisani looking to get past Baker very, very shortly, but this is going to allow Tanju Yildiz to keep with them, and he's right on the back bumper of Adrisani going through turn 14. Great run from the number 572. Started in 14th, now 11th, obviously following the retirements, well, the non-start, as Yildiz has gone up the inside of Baker, who's been passed by Adrisani. So Yildiz now in the top 10. Great job by the 572 of Tanju Yildiz that time around to get the jump on Baker, who I think just made a bit of a mistake. And he got caught out. Adrisani then pounced, and then Tanju Yildiz thought, oh, I've got an opportunity too. And just swan songs way on by. And now they've dropped the Dutch driver down the hill. So 14 runners and riders still circulating around here at Wintercup Campillos. So we still have sunset predicted at 7:06 p.m. local time here, as Yildiz is definitely showing that it doesn't matter your age if you've got the adrenaline and the intestinal fortitude. I haven't said that one in a while. Or guts, as we'd probably just say. 4 letters just says it all. He's closing on Ido Adrisani for what is effectively 9th on the circuit. Doing a great job. As we go into the last 75 seconds plus an additional lap, Slavomir Moranski's opened up his lead over Rudy Champion to 2.1 seconds. But this battle between Ido Adrisani and Daniel Yildiz. Yildiz did an absolute brilliant Daniel Ricciardo-esque manoeuvre there up the inside of Adrisani through turn 5. Great job. Now that puts him P9 as he goes past through that particular corner. Just literally, I think that's one of the best unanticipated moves that I did not see coming. And Adrisani now coming under fire from Beckert for that position as well. But Daniel Yildiz, what a job by him. Gets past Beckert and then does just steals that position of Adrisani. It's a great catch by our camera crew here. So we go on to the penultimate lap of the race with about 20 or so seconds to go. Slavomir Moranski going through turn 5 for the penultimate time as he goes through 7. Now up to the crest, top part of the circuit in 8. Now down the first part of the descent towards the bottom part of the circuit through the right-hander at 9 into 11. Hard on the anchors through the left at 11, turn 11, as I think I saw a little bit of a move there, possibly between Frank Leverne and Jan Carlsson. That's for 7th, and Leverne is hustling. And whilst they're battling away, Daniel Yildiz is actually trying to close up on them. As Ido Adrisani is still trying to keep, he's keeping in close proximity as he dare without causing any problems in 10th position. So final lap it is for Slavomir Moranski. He's done a great job so far. He put it on pole position, he won the first heat, and he's got around about 1,300 or so metres as he climbs the hill up to turn 5. 7th and 8th position, it's just about less than 4/10 of a second. And then you look at the battle between 9th and 10th, less than 3/10 between the pair there too. So Yildiz doing a great job fending off Adrisani on the final lap, having overtaken him a couple of laps ago through turn 5 with a fantastic, clean, hard, fair manoeuvre. So at the moment, Moranski now making his way through turns 13 and 14 for the last time. Christoph Adams making his way through turn 12, still sitting in what is now 6th position. As Frank Leverne trying to close up on Carlsson for 7th. Yildiz fending up. Well, he's pulled away from Adrisani, but in the meantime, the victory has been taken by Slavomir Moranski from Poland in the 46 Team Tony Kart chassis. PKS Competitions, Rudy Champion from France takes 2nd. RS Competitions, Andreas Schindler from Germany rounds out the top 3 ahead of France's Bruno Dos Santos and Marco Winkler from Germany rounding out the top 5. And Andreas Schindler actually started P9. Marco Winkler started P7, rounding out the order from 6 downwards. It's Christoph Adams from Belgium, Jan Carlsson from Sweden, Frank Leverne from France, Daniel Yildiz in 9th place from Germany, ahead of countryman Ido Adrisani, Frederick Beckert from the Netherlands, Klaus Parnet from Germany, Rodrigo Pinilos from Germany on the Mach 1 chassis with Kartschmied.de, with Maxim Shaposhnikov from Russia on the Birilant chassis from Birilant Baltics, rounding up the 14 strong that finished with Carl Klibort retiring and Conrad Bayer from RS Competition not even starting.